Hey guys, it's Sash, and welcome to a new video series of mine in which I delve into the mechanics and techniques of every brawler in the game and teach you guys how to beat every other brawler. For my first video of this series, I'd like to teach you guys everything you need to know about Shelly. I'll be showing you guys how to beat every other brawler with Shelly in 1v1 situations, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys live gameplay of what the best maps and team compositions are for Shelly. By the end of this video, I promise you guys that you will become Pro Shelly players. To start off, let's quickly review the mechanics of Shelly and her attack. Shelly does more damage the closer you are to the target. If you are between 0 and 1.5 tiles of your target, then Shelly will hit that target with all 5 of her shells, meaning she will deal 5 times more damage at very close range than from far away. If she shoots between 1.6 and 3.5 tiles, then she will hit her target with 3 shells, meaning she will deal 3 times more damage than she would have done if she were to shoot her target from, say, more than 3.5 tiles away. So now I'm going to show you guys how to use Shelly to beat every other brawler in the game 1v1. First, Shelly versus Colt. This is a tough matchup for Shelly because Colt has so much more range than her, and he also does so much more damage than Shelly from far away. In order for Shelly to beat Colt, you will need to utilize walls as much as you can and try to get as close to Colt as possible. Remember, Shelly does most of her damage when she is within 3.5 tiles of her target. So if you can get within 3.5 tiles of Colt while holding on to full ammo, you can quickly auto-tap 3 ammo on him and beat him. And although Colt does so much more damage, he is one of the easier brawlers to dodge attacks from. So a big tip for dodging his attacks is to stay 3.5 tiles to 5 tiles away from him while moving left and right to dodge him. If you get too close without dodging him, then he will shred you with his auto-tapped attack, so be careful. Next, Shelly versus Nita. Against the Nita, Shelly has a 1-tile advantage against her. So to beat her, you must use Shelly's full range to slowly chip health from Nita while keeping distance from her so she can't damage you. If Nita rushes you, simply run back while shooting and you will easily beat her. Slowly dealing chip damage on her will allow you to charge your super, and when you are close to your super, you can rush in on her and easily destroy her with your super. If she uses her super bear, then the best thing to do would be to run away from Nita's range while shooting at the bear. This way, you can take out the bear without taking any damage. Next, Shelly versus El Primo. This is one of the easiest matches for Shelly. Primo has about a 3-tile attack range, so all you have to do is stay away from his range and keep chipping damage on him to charge your super. Once you have your super, you should run towards him and blast him with your super on his face. This will allow you to stun him and charge over 75% of your super, and then it will allow you to get it back with one more attack, allowing you to use your super on him once again. One thing you must be careful is that Primo has more speed than Shelly, so try to stay at least 4 tiles away from him while you're attacking him, or he will be able to catch up to you and may also kill you. Next, Shelly versus Bull. You can beat Bull the same way you would beat a Primo. Bull has 5 tiles range, but he does very little damage from more than 3 tiles away, so you can safely get within 3 to 5 tiles of him and beat him. However, never get within 2 tiles of Bull. If you are within 2 tiles of him, he can quickly kill you with 2 hits. And similar to Primo, Bull also moves faster than Shelly. Next, Shelly versus Jessie. Jessie's attack has a long range and is also pretty thick, so the best way to beat her is to either juke in by moving left and right as you approach her to get within 3.5 tiles of her and then spam your auto tap on her, or run behind walls to take cover and slowly get close to her. Against her turret, don't try to use your range to take it down because that is a very bad idea. If you use your full range on her turret, then you will do very little damage on it, and you will also take damage from the turret, allowing her to charge her super. So the best way to take down the turret is to get really close to it and then destroy it with 2 quick hits without feeding it much. Keep in mind that when you're hiding in the grass, the turret will not shoot at you. So use that as an advantage to get closer to the turret before attacking it. Next, Shelly versus Brock. Brock is a tough matchup for Shelly because of his range. The best way to beat Brock is to use walls to take cover and then get as close as possible to him. A pro tip is to try and get Brock to miss one of his shots so that he only has 2 ammo left, and then you can rush him because he will not be able to kill you when he runs out of ammo. One helpful thing to note is that you can use Shelly's super to cancel out Brock's super if you are within his range. Next, Shelly versus Piper. Similar to how you'd beat a Brock, you can employ the same strategy to beat a Piper. However, Piper does most of her damage from far away, while you of course deal most of your damage from close up. So the best way to beat Piper would be obviously to get as close as 3 tiles, and then you can quickly kill her with 3 quick shots. Getting close to her will be the main challenge, and the best way to do that would be to use walls as cover while slowly and safely getting closer to her. Next, Shelly versus Dynamite. Dynamite is a very hard matchup for Shelly when he is shooting you behind walls. However, Dynamite's biggest weakness is that he's pretty easy to dodge. To dodge him, you must be very unpredictable with your movements, meaning you will not only need to move left and right, but you must also move up and down. And then when you get close to him, you can easily rush him and kill him. If you have your super, you can blast through Dynamite's walls and kill him. Next, Shelly versus Barley. Barley is actually tougher to beat Dynamite because Barley's splash attack radius is so big, so he rarely misses and it's quite difficult to dodge. However, Barley's weakness is that he does not deal that much damage. Barley does double damage if you stand still or if you walk into his attack. So to beat Barley, you must avoid taking those double damages while dodging him by taking single damage. Once you get close to him, he's very easy to kill. Next, Shelly versus Beau. Beau is not a very hard brawler to beat for Shelly. He is one of the easiest brawlers to dodge, as all you have to do is keep moving left and right as you run into him. To beat Beau, you must load up on your ammo to full and then get really close within 1.5 tiles from him. Beau has more range than you, so you should always try to use walls to shield yourself as you try to get close to him. Next, Shelly versus Poco. The best way to beat Poco is to use your full range by manually aiming from far away. Shelly has a 1 tile range advantage over Poco, so as long as you use your full range, Poco will not be able to damage you. Once you hit him with enough chip damage and have your super ready, you can rush him as he does very little damage, and then you can blast him with your super at close range. Next, Shelly versus Ricochet. Ricochet is a really hard brawler to get close to because he has so many ways to bounce his attacks through those walls. The best way to beat Ricochet is to get into an open area position when Ricochet can't bounce his shots on you. Then once you get close to him, you can easily kill him with 2 or 3 shots because he has very little HP. Next, Shelly versus Darryl. The best way to beat Darryl is to use your full range. He has the same amount of range as Poco, but does most of his damage at close range. You must also remember that Darryl can auto-charge his super without having to deal any damage, so he can get his super at any moment and roll right into you. So you must be ready for that. Best way to counter a Darryl that has super is to rush him as close as possible to him so he can't roll into you with his 7 tile super range. Next, Shelly versus Penny. Penny is a very difficult brawler to dodge because of her rapid firing attack and the thickness of it. The best way to beat Penny would be to use walls and get close to her and then rush her. It takes Penny 5 ammo or 5 hits to kill Shelly, meaning Penny needs time to charge back her ammo to kill you, giving you ample time to rush her and kill her before she can reload. Next, Shelly versus Pam. Pam is a very tough matchup for Shelly because Pam has more range and does a lot more damage from far away. Not only that, she does a lot of damage at close range, so your best shot at beating her is to use walls as cover and rush her when she is low on ammo, or slowly work your way by charging your super. Once you have your super, you can rush her at close range and even be able to double super her on her face to kill her. Next, Shelly versus Frank. Similar to other tanks, to beat a Frank, you must use your max range. As long as you keep your distance from him, he won't be able to touch you. So try to take advantage of that and slowly charge your super. Once you have your super, you can rush the Frank and super him to beat him. But be careful, it only takes Frank 3 quick swings to kill you. Another super important thing to know is that you should always try to save your super to negate his super. Shelly can cancel out Frank's super and completely obliterate him with hers. Next, Shelly versus Mortis. Shelly is one of the best counters to Mortis. You should almost always auto tap against a Mortis. The best way to beat Mortis is not to spam your attack. Instead, focus on getting really close to him or have him come close to you and then auto tap him on his face. Once you have Shelly's super, it is pretty much impossible for Mortis to beat you, as all you have to do is auto tap him with your super button whenever he gets close to you. Shelly versus Terra. Terra has more range than Shelly, so to beat her, you must get close to her, and the best way to do that is to use walls. It takes Terra 4 hits to kill Shelly at close range, whereas it takes Shelly only 3 hits to kill Terra at very close range. So to beat her, you will need to get as close as possible to her before auto-tapping her. If Terra has super, always try to stay behind walls so that she is unable to pull you. Shelly versus Spike. Spike is one of the hardest matchups for Shelly. To beat Spike, you must avoid direct hits. Spike's weakness is that his main attack is pretty hard to accurately hit an enemy that is between 3 to 5 tiles away. So if you can get within 3 to 5 tiles of Spike and dodge his direct hits, you can actually rush him and quickly kill him because he has very little hit points. Next, Shelly versus Crow. A good Crow player is hard to beat as Shelly because he is so fast, of course, and has so much range. But Crow's weakness is that he does very little damage from far away. So all you have to do is use walls and try to slowly push him back against the wall and pin him. Once Crow is pinned, you can easily kill him with 2 or 3 hits. If Crow has his super ready, then don't use your super on him, or he can quickly auto tap his super and fly away. Instead, always wait for the Crow to land on the ground after he uses his super, and then you can auto tap your super and easily kill him. Next, Shelly versus Leon. Leon is a very powerful brawler in the game right now. The best way to beat Leon is to use your full range while staying behind walls and slowly work your way to get your super. Once you have your super, you can rush him and kill him with your super. If Leon has his super ready, then a very smart idea would be to stay near a mushroom or wall. That way, when Leon gets close to you while he's invisible, you can quickly run around the mushroom or wall and avoid getting shot at by him. And if you have your super, you can easily blast him through the wall or mushroom. Shelly versus Shelly. When you're up against another Shelly, the best way to win is to use your full range and manually shoot the enemy Shelly from as far away as possible. This way, you can slowly deal damage to the enemy Shelly while not take damage. By weakening the enemy Shelly slowly, you are forcing her to move back so that she can regen. If she doesn't move back, then it's an easy kill for you. This allows you to gain control, pin her down, and easily kill her. Okay guys, lastly, I'm going to show you guys some live gameplay of how to use Shelly, the best team compositions and maps to use Shelly. So this is one of the best maps to use Shelly on. It's called Stolen Fort. What makes this map perfect for Shelly are the grasses on the left and right side of the map, allowing her to sneak in, move up, and do a lot of stealthy plays. So right here I have a Primo on my side, and against a Primo obviously I have the range advantage, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to slowly work my way by getting my super. So right here Maddie, he has retreated to the mid. I'm going to use my super right there, keep my distance, and again I'm just going to quickly try to get my super. And there we go, I got my super again. I'm going to rush right into the Primo, in his face, in his grill, take him out. Right there my teammate Ace took out the opposing Poco. Right here, one shot to get my super, and then I can just use my super right on the bull. Right here I have a Primo right on the right, and again I'm just going to rush right into him, take him out with my super. Nice. So right here I'm going to get back to this heal station, get back to full. This is such a powerful composition to use as well. Break this wall and took out that Poco. He did heal himself back, but I got my super back again. So as you can see, Shelly gets her super back very quickly when you use her super at very close range. Right there, unfortunately my teammate Ace died to their bull. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to rush right here to the mid. I know I have the range advantage against all 3 of them. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to do a stealthy sneaky move, and what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to try to sneak in from the other side, get close to this bull, and try to take him out. Unfortunately, he does have the 2v1 advantage with the Bull and Poco on the mid. So right here, my teammate right there, they were able to get that last 10th gem. I'm just going to use my super right here. Poco, of course, 1v1 should not be able to beat Shelly. I got my super again and pop that super right on Matey's face right there. And that should do it. We have enough gems. Good game, guys. Now, one of the best bounty maps to use Shelly on is Snake Prairie. This is the perfect map for Shelly because you have so much grass everywhere. And any map you have a lot of grass is a really good map for Shelly. So right here, I'm going to try to stay close to Cerulean, who's a Beau right here. So I have vision, and let's see. Now I do know their Beau's on the right and he's got vision. So I'm going to have to stay on the left side and try to protect Ace, who's a Brock right there, because their Bull is trying to flank in from the other side. Unfortunately, the Bull was able to get our Beau. I was able to get their Piper. I'm going to stay close to Ace right there because he does not have vision of the Bull on the right side. Okay, unfortunately, I don't know why Cerulean is playing so aggressively there. Was able to take out Ace right there. No, not Ace. Vide, who's a Bull. Nice. And let's see, King right there on the left. Oh, unfortunately, Cerulean is playing way too aggressive. It's not what you want to do in Bounty at all. Don't do what Cerulean is doing and playing very suicidal, because you got to stay alive. In Bounty, you got to get the kill, and you also have to be able to survive. So right here, I'm going to take out King. Nice. Unfortunately, Ace stole my King, but that was an assist right there. Perfect. Now we have the lead 18-10. And right now, I'm going to play very defensive with Shelly. I'm going to stay behind a wall, take cover. I'm going to also have to stay away from their Beau because he's got star power and he can track me with his super, with his star power. Right here, I'm going to sneak right up on this Piper because she does not have vision and she did not know that I was on the right. We got a Bull right here. And gonna just super him right there. Took him out. Perfect. Awesome. So right there, as you can see, the main strategy you want to utilize with Shelly is you want to sneak up on people. You want to be able to get right on them and take them out. That Shelly, smart Shelly, used her super to run away from me. I'm just one hit from getting my super. So right here, I'm going to get my super and right there stun the Bull. Oh no, there are mines right here. Can I regen back? Nice. So Cerulean did manage to take out the Bull. And 20 seconds left. We have a 13-star lead. I have 6 stars, so I gotta play it very safely right now. And I'm just gonna stay back right here. That Bull has super. Let's see, is he gonna charge? I'm almost close to my super, so right, he's gonna charge on me. I'm gonna quickly auto tap my super and kill him. Nice, GG. 7 seconds left. I'm gonna regen just a bit, and there we go. That Piper is done for. GG. Okay guys, last game, we're gonna do Brawl Ball, and this is the perfect map to use Shelly on for Brawl Ball. It's called Sneaky Fields. The reason this map is perfect is because of all the grassy areas, which is gonna allow you to do a lot of sneaky plays, flank up, and also be able to use those walls to shield yourself. So right here, we got a Primo. He's very close to me. Obviously, I'm just gonna rush in, took him out, got my super, and I'm just gonna try to super goal right there or pass it to my teammate Cerulean. Perfect. Great start. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the right side against the enemy's Primo. That's the best matchup. Always go for your best matchup against the Primo. That's my best matchup. So right here, I'm going to try to get my super right there. And unfortunately, Vide was able to super kick that in for the easy goal. Okay. Right here, I'm going to again do the same thing. I'm very close to getting my super. So once I get my super, I should be able to blast them right here. So right there, I got the Primo with my super, got the Nita, and then I can just score this with ease. Gonna do a trick shot right there, and that's gonna end it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys learned everything about Shelly. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and also let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to do Colt next or Nita. Let me know what brawler you guys want me to do next. So take care guys, and I'll see you guys again until tomorrow. Bye.